I am partial to a well-executed blue-dialed sports watch when it's done properly. There is something very exciting about looking at your wrist to gauge the time, and then not only noticing the powerful, cool tones, but being drawn in by them. A good blue-dialed watch, as silly as this may sound, can evoke positive emotion in the wearer. I also believe it is difficult for a brand to pull this off. I think it's too easy to create a watch that is overly muted, basic, desaturated, or likewise too bold, too unorganized, or too loud. I think it takes design and production talent to really create a blue dialed watch that hits all of the right exciting notes while also standing up well against the test of time in regards to visual appeal or not looking dated. So I am happy to report that I have found one of the top level blue executions in a diver on the market. This is the Karl F. Bucherer Patravi ScubaTec Maldives edition. And I think one can never really fully tell how good or not good a watch is until seeing it in the flesh, in the metal. But I can confirm that this one is bright, saturated, vibrant, and dynamic. When the sun hits this texturized dial, the electric blue brightens up and it steals your attention. The experience is aided by the fact that this has a sharp wave texture, a subtle sunray finish, and the uniquely curved applied markers that are deep filled with superluminova. And then notice the white accenting of the lume and the white ceramic bezel inlay just within the first 15 minutes of the bezel. It really is a beautiful watch. Now let's go over a couple specifications for this piece as well as the DLC coated titanium variation that I have right next to it here. Both of these are on loan from Karl F. Bucherer. Now the watch will be 44.5 millimeters in case diameter, 52.1 in overall lug-to-lug distance, 13.5 in overall height with a 22 millimeter lug width and 500 meters of water resistance. You'll note a helium release valve up by the 8 o'clock position on the case. And then I mentioned this, but it will have a bicolor ceramic bezel insert with a large sapphire capped bezel pip. This has above average bezel action. In fact, I think this is probably top 5 out of all, dive bezels that I've been able to try over the years of reviewing watches. And this will also have a very good application of superluminova. So in low light, it really is legible and long lasting. You'll also notice that there are some screws here in the lugs to secure the bracelet or the strap to this dominant linear case shape. And I'd like to spend just a minute talking about this clasp. It's large, it's robust, it's well finished. There is a twin trigger release for the longer signed portion of the clasp. And then there is a ceramic ball bearing closure for the other swing arm side. Note on the smaller side, underneath there is an Easy Link style quick extension system. And then on the underside of the larger side, that houses a toolless micro adjustment system. So the clasp just feels over-engineered, and that is something that I really like as a sports watch fan. This helps reinforce the idea that this is much more than just a pretty blue dialed diver. This model is built to high levels of quality, and it is all about the functionality. The ScubaTec definitely has an overbuilt type of feel, which is perfectly appropriate on a large sports piece. Now, the movement within is a modified ETA 2824. This has 25 joules. It will be chronometer certified, but this does not have the peripheral rotor that Karl F. Bucherer is known for, this independent Swiss brand. Regardless, you won't be able to see the movement or the level of finish in the caliber, as these watches have a beautiful engraving of twin manta rays on the case back. Now this will signify a special collaboration, so a portion of the sale of each one of these ScubaTec models, Karl F. Bucherer will donate to a charity called the Manta Trust. Now the Manta Trust is an organization that is dedicated to studying, protecting, and preserving this oceanic creature. CFB is now in the 10th year of this specific partnership. Now let's talk about drawbacks to these two pieces. I would say in today's watch market, the power reserve is below average. And I think many brands have easily passed that 50-hour mark as a benchmark, with many watch brands providing up to 3 days of power reserve. This will be a moot point if you were to wear this on a daily basis, but I know a lot of watch collectors have rotations that take them days to get through, so a longer power reserve would be a very welcome aspect in the future. And the last thing that I will mention doesn't necessarily bother me, but it is something of note. This is a large watch and it wears dominantly on wrist. And to get the fullest out of the consumer experience, you need to crave a substantial wearing diver. I don't think this wears too large on my 7.25-inch wrist. In fact, I really like the way this looks and feels. I like a good hefty watch myself. So if you have smaller wrists, I would definitely try one on before buying because it may be too big. But on the whole, I think there is a lot to enjoy about this. A good level of anti-reflective treatment on the sapphire crystal. Obviously, the lovely dial work with the wave, the electric blue color that grabs your attention. I like the applied markers. I like the large handset. I really like the bezel action. I like the fit on wrist. I like this overbuilt clasp. Again, this is a pretty compelling sports piece that should definitely be in consideration if you have a watch budget of around $7,000. Now let me know if you have any questions. I would be happy to help out in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate a like. I would appreciate a subscription if you haven't done so already. That supports me. It helps my channel grow. So thank you if you are able to do that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.